The great war strategist Sun Tzu once wrote, "Every battle is won before it's ever fought." Now, he wasn't talking about marketing, but that doesn't make this lesson any less important. Because in marketing, in business, and pretty much anything you want to be successful at, a little bit of preparation goes a long, long way. And that's why in this video, we're talking about the 5 key steps to planning and launching a successful marketing campaign, so you can give yourself the greatest chance of success right out of the gate. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Adam Erhart, and welcome to the Modern Marketing Show, where we help you grow your business by making better marketing. So if you're interested in learning about the latest and greatest marketing strategies, tools, tips, tricks, and tactics, well, you may want to consider subscribing. Over the years as a marketing strategist, I've spent a lot of time learning and experimenting and testing and applying what works and what doesn't when it comes to launching a really successful marketing campaign. And where things get interesting is that, well, pretty much anything can work, whether we're talking about content marketing or email marketing, online advertising, or even good old-fashioned direct mail. So what separates the winners from the losers isn't the tactic then, but the underlying strategy behind the method. This is why it's so important to set yourself up for success right from the start by spending a few extra hours ahead of time really mapping out and planning your campaign from start to finish. I promise, the little bit of extra effort this takes can save you a ton of headaches, a ton of money, and really prevent a train wreck of a marketing campaign from even happening in the first place. Alright, so with all that said, let's dive into the 5 steps to planning and launching a successful marketing campaign. Step number 1 is the why. One of the craziest things I see, and on a pretty regular basis too, is the creation of a marketing campaign just because. What I mean by that is marketing simply for the sake of marketing, or in other words, random acts of marketing, where you go out there and just do some random marketing without any clear goal or objective behind the campaign. It's probably not hard to believe that when this happens, you're pretty much doomed from the start. A campaign will get launched, it'll fail, and then the business owner will blame the tactic or channel or strategy or marketing in general. Madness, I tell you, madness. See, in the real world, it's rare that a campaign gets launched and has any chance of being successful without really clearly articulating where you want it to go and what success would look like. So here are some questions to ask yourself at this stage. Why are we doing this? What are we hoping to achieve? What's the end goal? How will we know if we're successful or not? Step number 2 is the what. Alright, so now that you've got your reasons all sorted out, it's time to take a look at what you're about to promote. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make, and one of the surest ways to have complete marketing failure, is to market something that you want rather than what the market wants. Basically, at this stage, you want to get absolutely clear about what the best thing to focus on promoting is right now. If you're marketing to a brand new cold audience who has absolutely no idea who you are, well then you may want to start with something that has a low barrier and high perceived value. It'll make it easier to market and easier to sell. If you're marketing to a warm audience of, say, people who already know you or repeat customers, well, you can start to move further up the customer ladder and market something maybe a little more expensive and a little more niche down. Regardless, some of the key questions you want to ask yourself at this stage are, what are we trying to promote? Is this the thing we should be promoting? Do we think people want this? What might they want more instead? This takes us to step 3, the who. Okay, so you've got your why, you've got your what, it's time to dial in the who. It's at this stage we want to deep dive into the what you're marketing, we'll call this your offer, as well as the who you're marketing to, we'll call them your customers. The reason you want to do this is because you want to find the overlap between your offer and your customers and find a way that matches them together in a way that uniquely solves their problems. This part's really important, so let me say it again in a different way. The goal at this stage is to uncover your customers' miracles and miseries, their wants, their dreams, their fears, their desires, their needs, their problems, their frustrations, whatever it is that they're going through, and then find a way that your business or your offer uniquely solves this problem for them, and then demonstrate how you can bridge the gap to get them from where they are to where they want to go. Questions to ask yourself at this stage are, who are we trying to serve? Do we know their basic details like age, gender, occupation, where they live? What about the deeper stuff like attitudes, interests, and beliefs? Step 4 is the where. By this stage, you should have a pretty clear understanding of why you're running your campaign, what you're going to be promoting, and who you're promoting it to. So it's in step 4 that we begin what most consider the actual marketing part, because this is where we're going to begin actually putting your message directly in front of your customers. But to do that, we first need to find out where they are so we can meet them there. Fortunately, armed with all the information that you've just collected by going through the previous steps, finding out this information is really pretty easy. Just takes a quick Google search on which demographics tend to be using which social media platforms, and you'll have a really good baseline on where to start. Some good questions to ask yourself at this stage are, where do my customers spend their time, online and offline? What social media networks do they use? How do they prefer to engage with online content? And what kind of content do they prefer? Step 5 is the how. Finally, we get to the how. Now, mistakenly, this is where most people start, and it often leads to haphazard campaigns that are built on shaky foundations and no real strategy at all. After all, how can you possibly know the best how until you've clearly identified the goals, the customer, the offer, and where you're going to be running the campaign? The answer, as you know, is you can't, which is why most marketing fails. The key then is to go through the steps that we've just covered, and that by the time you get to this stage, well, you just need to decide on what tactic to execute on. As an example, let's say that you've determined your market is on Facebook, and Facebook ads are going to be the best way to reach them there. Well, the how really just comes down to then figuring out how to run Facebook ads, or finding someone that knows. Or if you've determined that your audience is on YouTube, and so the best way to reach them there is a YouTube content strategy. Well, the how then just becomes researching what's the best way to run a YouTube content strategy, or should you be running YouTube ads to put a little gas on the fire? In most cases, some good questions to ask yourself at this stage are, how are we going to do this? Should we do it ourselves or find someone to help? What do we need to know, have, or do to make this work? Bonus tip, the when. No strategy that covers the why, what, who, where, and how would be complete without at least addressing the when. But I didn't want to include the when in the main 5 parts because one of the biggest mistakes I see business owners making is putting off marketing until the business generates more revenue, until the business declines and needs to, until next month, until next quarter, until next year, until we get our staffing issue sorted, until we hire an intern, until. And well, as you can imagine, nothing ever ends up happening. As the Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So the when is now. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If so, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and say hello in the comment section below. For more great marketing strategies, tools, tips, tricks, and tactics, make sure to head over to AdamErhart.com, which is packed full of resources, and articles, and videos, all designed to help you take your marketing and your business to the next level and way beyond that. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on The Modern Marketing Show.